Hey guys, now we have some Firefighter props. This is a very neat little badge in a nice clear plastic cover, and inside of this we have fire department. It asks for the name, the first name, last name, and also the middle name. It's also asking for ID, rank, and badge number. And here we have a little box for the photo. And now we have a little compass, and this compass has the colors red, gray, and yellow outlined in a black container. Unfortunately, I don't think it actually points north, but it's still pretty neat and a good way to get your bearings, especially if you're dealing with, say, a forest fire and all around you is just tree after tree. And I remember when I was a kid, I'd always use the little memory trick, never eat sour worms, to remember the directions. Here we have the red binoculars. They have a nice black rim here and golden thread. The little eyepieces sound like they're made of plastic. Unfortunately, you can't seem to turn the middle, but I can still see through it. This is for those fires in the distance where you need to scope out see what colors it is. Is it getting better or darker? And the little middle part has a nice little ridge to it. Now we have this very beautiful badge. It's so light, so the material is very cheap. But it has a very cute clip at the back, so you can use it to clip it on your clothes. And it says fire department. Here we have a little ladder. Here we have a fire hydrant. And in the middle we have that fire hat. Very nice and very shiny. And this is a little utility belt that you can use to store all of your equipment on yourself in case if you need to pull things out quickly. It has a little clip here. Oop, there we go. And the little clip has a star in the middle. And now we have this very red horn. It's very loud design here to amplify the sounds. Over here we have this neat little design. It says fire department and it's yellow and black. Over here is where you speak into it with the little holes here, and the little handle has some ridges to it. You could actually put batteries in here. When I put the batteries in, it made such a loud ambulance sound. I decided to not do that to you guys. And when you click the little button, that's how you turn it on. So here you have this awesome flashlight, luminous flashlight. You can even turn it on and it'll actually work. There we go. There's a slight blue tint to it, which is a nice bright contrast to its black design. There's also a little keychain here you can use to dangle it by your side. You could try to use it to see through the dark smoke, see if anybody's alive. And now you have this eye mask. It kind of reminds me of those chemistry classes where you have those safety goggles to protect your eyes from the stinging smoke. There's a little band. Unfortunately, it's so small. You have to be a toddler to fit into this. The screen looks a little bit dirty, but firefighting's not a clean job to do, that's for sure. There's a little nose piece here as well. So here we have this neat black whistle with a little cylindrical body, a little hole here where you could attach it to a string, and of course the mouthpiece. Shall I give this a little blow? I blew very softly just for you guys. And yeah, there's the neat little whistle. So here we have this walkie-talkie. Unfortunately, it's entirely made of plastic, hollow inside, so it's very light. There's this cute little antenna that you can, for extending those signals and trying to capture everything nicely. Here's where you can listen to incoming messages, and here's where you can shout. I just wish it kind of had more design, you know. It's just kind of one singular black box. Could do a little, it could do much better with a little bit of color and design. So here we have this cool little watch, and the top part here has that military time, 20:05. Very nice, very accurate. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars of signal. Very nice. My cell phone only goes to 4. The batteries are all full, and at the bottom we have these 3 circles: blue, red, and green. I have no idea what those mean. And then here we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. And we have ABC, so we can type in our little message here. Now this watch, you can actually fold it in, haha, but you have to be super skinny. Like, look at this. That's barely anything. And that's the watch. So here we have the lovely fire extinguisher. I filled it with water, but you actually can't spray it, which is kind of sad. I guess everybody's just gonna have to die, unfortunately. So over here we have fire extinguisher, rescue, fire squad. We also have these lovely little instructions. Step 1, open the top and fill the bottle with water. So Step 2, twist the top clockwise back on securely. Clockwise we go. Step 3, squeeze the handles up and down to prime pump a few times. And no water. We also have this really neat meter over here. There's a little red piece and a green piece, and thankfully it's in the green. Now we have this plastic crowbar, of course, so it's very light, very hollow inside. Has this neat little almost fork-like protrusion here, 1, 2, and it's nice and going to a point at the end, so you really need to open some of those doors or whack it. I'm just kidding. No whacking. So yeah, this is the crowbar. Now we have the very dramatic axe. There's nice red wood at the bottom, and there's even little ridges here. I don't know if you can see it. So it kind of mimics wooden texture. And of course we have that nice little silver blade. And there's an even cute little red piece out here, which is a nice little touch to detail. So sometimes you really need to use manpower to cut through that wood, break down those doors, and save people. So yeah. So this piece here are the pants, and they come with these wonderful yellow stripes, and these gray things in the middle are actually reflective. So it's really cool, and you can see it from afar. So these are the pants, and this of course is the shirt. Here it says Fire Department, fighting fire since 1879. That's a long time for a firefighter establishment. And here you can even open the zipper and tuck yourself inside. And of course the top part also has these yellow lines on the top and bottom, and in the middle it has that wonderful gray reflective piece. In addition to it being on the body, there's also some on the arms. So here we have the cool fire hat. There's that little flap at the back. I'm not sure what that's meant to be. Maybe to protect the head or something. But yeah, they always have the little flap at the back. And there's a nice black ridge here. And in the front, there's a nice little design there. It says Fire Department #1. Very nice. With a little hat and axe on the side. Unfortunately, it's just too small for my head. And Now what we can do is we can pair up some of these equipment, putting some protective gear on your glasses, or on your eyes rather. Once we have this on, we can use a flashlight to try and look and see. Whoa. Look and see. Look and see. If the goggles are not enough, maybe what you need are binoculars to try to see far into the distance. Oh, do you see the little light in there? These two are really cool pieces of identification. You have the badge, which tells you all the necessary information, and then you have the cool, neat little badge, the other silver badge, which is like almost a source of pride, you know? You work so hard to get this wonderful badge, and hopefully if the clip works, I can clip it on here. And it clipped it on there. It looks like you almost won an award or something here. Although this doesn't spray out water, one way that I found that you could get water out is that if you were to tilt this, the water would come out. It's very nice and cooling and refreshing, and it saves so many lives. Sometimes when you're using a walkie-talkie and you're trying to shout instructions, maybe it's not clear enough, because sometimes when I'm just using my regular phone, I can barely hear the person on the other line clearly. I can barely hear the other person on the line clearly. So I can only imagine how much fuzzier it might come across through a walkie-talkie. So in that case, warn everybody to move. Get out of the way. Stop filming. Because that seems to be just people's way of reacting to things now. Film and post it. But no, safety first, guys. Safety first. I suppose the first option when trying to open a door would be to try to pry out the screws, the hinges, so that you can just kick the door away. Use as least amount of force as possible, conserving your strength and oxygen and stamina, because the oxygen tank only goes so far. But if the crowbar doesn't work, then unfortunately, I suppose you're gonna have to upgrade to the hammer, or upgrade to the axe. Damage some property, all in the name of saving lives. I wonder if any firefighter has ever been sued for damage of property. I can't imagine, but I remember watching a TikTok where there was this firefighter that talked about how someone asked them to take off their shoes going into the house. Now I imagine their shoes aren't so clean, but really, lives first, guys. I'm not much of a watch person because I'm always using my phone, but I suppose if you're a firefighter with like an axe in one hand, a walkie-talkie in another, you don't have time to really check your phone, and it might not even work. So you gotta use the trusty old wristwatch to keep track of your time, watch those oxygen levels. And the other little gadget would be the compass. If you really lose your bearings, because sometimes the smoke is just too much and you can't see much at all, which is quite frightening and crazy. So the compass really comes in handy to be able to point you in the right direction. I just love how loud this thing looks even when there's no batteries and it's silent. And it also makes a cute little hat for the fire extinguisher. And I suppose if neither the walkie-talkie nor the horn is appropriate, maybe because those need batteries and it's too hot for those things to function, you could try the whistle. That way you don't have to shout at people. You can just get their attention immediately. Toot toot, toot toot. Subscribe!